Good morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I'm just going to give a video here. I've had a lot of people have asking me actually what has happened to Bill. They knew he had passed away, but they didn't know what happened. So I'm going to do my best to explain it. I might get things mixed up a little bit because I'm kind of confused myself about it, but it happened so fast. A little history. He had dementia. We knew that, and he was trying very hard to get through that, and we were as well. But it had nothing to do with the dementia that caused the problem for him. He also has had a couple of rounds of chemotherapy because he's had a couple of kinds of cancer. He had a myeloma, which is a blood cancer, and he had colon cancer, and he has prostate cancer. So he's been ongoing with treatments for that. We've stopped those treatments recently because he had hit a remission, and so it also had nothing to do with that. What had happened is he got a infection, which we did not know, but he got an infection called the C. diff infection. And it was an infection, and it went rampant through his body. And when it went rampant through his body, it caused him to have a perforated bowel. And when the bowel perforated, he got septic or sepsis or whatever that's called. And then his organs started to fail, and his kidneys failed, and his liver was failing, and he had some spots on his lung that were collapsing. So he was a very, very sick man, and it happened very quickly. We literally had 3 days that we had him, that from the time that we knew there was something wrong, and we didn't really know what it was. We didn't actually find out what it was until after he had passed away, and then they had got results of some of the tests. But anyway, I'm trying to think how it happened because it was such a blur. Anyway, he went into the hospital. We had the doctor or the ambulance come out to the house. And they said he was very sick. His blood pressure was very low. So they took him to the hospital, and then Claudine didn't want him to be by himself at all. So her and Claudine took turns staying with their dad. And I said goodbye to him at home, hoping that he was going to rally and be able to come home. But anyway, that didn't happen. And so the kids, Claudine spent the night on Friday night, and then she came home in the morning. And her and Ivy went up in the afternoon. Cal went up in the evening, and Cal was going to come home after about 9:30 or 10, and Claudine was going to go up about 11. Well, Cal did not leave at 9:30 or 10 because he knew something was wrong, and he stayed until Claudine got there, and then he stayed with her. And so he called, and at 11:11 at night, they had called a code on Bill, and there was all sorts of people in the room, and they were trying a bunch of things. And then Claudine arrived, and she knew that he had a DNR, and we had the papers all there. So she talked to the doctors, and she said, that's enough. We're not going to try anymore. And then they stopped trying. They said it was comfort care then, and they gave him some morphine and made him as comfortable as he could be. Clayton held one hand, and Claudine held the other. Very peacefully, he lasted for 3 hours, and then he slowly passed away. They were both with him. He knew they were there. They were comforted by that. He was comforted by that, and it was very peaceful passing. I miss him dreadfully. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's all I can think of to say. That's what happened. He had this infection, and it just went through him. And then Claudine has made a nice video display for her dad. We're going to have a get-together tomorrow for Saturday, just for people. We're not having a funeral service, so we're just having people come over, and we'll just play a montage of pictures of him that Claudine put together, and then we'll have a bite to eat, and then we'll tell some funny stories about him, because there's plenty of funny stories. I was going to tell one here, but I just don't feel like it right now, so I'll have to save that for another time. Anyway, that's what I'm going to say. If you're interested in seeing the montage that Claudine put together, she did put it on her YouTube channel, which I appreciated. So you can go to her YouTube channel, which is DEANM. No, that's wrong. It's DEANMCPHATE. So it's Dean McFate. and that's at YouTube. And you'll see a memorial to her dad, and it's lovely. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you all have a good day, and I'll chat with you soon. Bye.